thing I love at Indian restaurants are lasis. You guys know what those are? So lasis are yogurt mixed with either mango or strawberry and some sugar, and they are really dreamy. So it's kind of like Indian style smoothies. I love them. My daughter loves them. The problem with them is they've got a lot of sugar in them, dairy, and we can't have sugar or dairy at our house, so that causes a problem. So I figured out how to make lasis, and they are to die for. We eat these for breakfast and snacks and everything without dairy and without sugar. Now we start out with coconut yogurt, and I've showed you guys how to make this in a previous class, but for those of you that were not there, I'm gonna go over it with you again. Yogurt is made with acidophilus, which is one of the healthy bacteria that is in your gut flora. And so we probably all heard the commercials about probiotics. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, raise your hand and I'll clarify more. But milk is not the only medium that you can grow acidophilus in. You can culture pretty much anything. You can culture fruits, vegetables, teas, yogurt or coconut milk, almond milk. You can take pretty much any medium, put those friendly bacteria in there, and if it's the right environment, it will grow. And so you can make yogurt out of anything. So that's basically what is traditional sauerkraut, not the kind you get in the store that's just vinegar and it's been cooked, but traditional fermented sauerkraut, that's what they do. They take the bacteria, put it in the medium, which is the cabbage, and then they let it ferment for anywhere from 3 days to a year, and then you've got this probiotic-rich vegetable that is very healing and very therapeutic. So instead of using milk, we're going to use coconut milk. Now in regular yogurts, you've got milk, which in other classes I've explained that commercial dairy is one of the worst things for you ever. It's been, studies have shown that it's linked to type 1 diabetes. Studies are also showing that kids, more and more kids who are allergic to milk. That's what's causing asthma, eczema, all sorts of allergic disorders, colic, failure to thrive. All those kinds of things are caused by milk sensitivities and milk allergies. Most doctors that are focusing on using diet as a therapeutic means to overcome disease, that's one of their first recommendations, is get all dairy and all milk out of your diet until you know if your body can handle it or not.
Does the same apply to organic milk and yogurt?
So organic milk and yogurt is the next step up. So they don't have the pesticides, and most of the times they don't have the hormones, and most of the times their cows are treated a little bit better, but they're still factory farmed and it's still pasteurized and homogenized, which makes it so your body can't handle it as well. So if you're handling milk okay, definitely I would recommend, if you're drinking milk, raw milk is the way to go. This is what the doctors that are advocating this diet are saying. Milk that has not been pasteurized, has not been homogenized, from organic, grass-fed, free-range cows. If you're going to be consuming dairy products, that's the only way to go. Otherwise, you're getting so many toxins in your milk, it's going to damage your health. Okay? So there's my don't drink milk campaign. Back to the yogurt. Coconut milk, we're going to use that for, the yogurt in stores. So it's made out of that kind of milk. Oh, sorry, yeah?
Where do you get raw milk?
You can get it in Orem at Real Foods Market. There's also a website. I can email you guys the link to the website that shows you all the places where you can get grass-fed, free-range, organic raw milk. There's a website for it, and I forget what it is, but I can email that to you if you remind me. And also with your meats, and while we're on the topic, any kind of meat you eat, beef, chicken, eggs, any kind of animal products, if you're going to eat those, it's important that you carefully select them from free-range, grass-fed, organic animals. Otherwise, you're getting a massive toxic load into your body if you're eating any kind of factory-farmed, non-organic animal products. So that's meat, chicken, fish, dairy, eggs, and that's even fish. Like farmed fish is exactly the same. Okay. Where was I? Regular yogurt, pasteurized, usually non-organic milk. They put the probiotics in there, and they culture it, which is great, but then what do they add in? Sugar or artificial sweeteners. Anytime you add sugar to probiotics, it kills them. They can't live in that kind of an environment. So when they're adding high fructose corn syrup and sugar or NutraSweet or whatever, so you're killing it off there. And also, because your body can't absorb the milk, and because your body is basically having an allergic reaction to the milk, producing a lot of mucus, every time you consume milk, it kind of blocks all the probiotic action that could be happening if it was healthy for you. So we're going to use coconut milk instead. If you have a yogurt maker, that works the best. It's the most stable. All you do is you take I get probiotic capsules from the health food store that you just take as supplements, and I just break them open. So maybe 2 capsules per can of coconut milk, and I mix them up, and you can put it in your yogurt maker. And the lactobacillus, it grows best between 100 and 110 degrees. So when you're culturing it, you just need to keep it in that temperature range. Any lower and the bacteria won't grow. Any higher and it's going to kill the bacteria. So you just need some kind of environment to keep it between 100 and 110 degrees. I have a food dehydrator, so I just put it in the jars and throw it in my food dehydrator and set the temperature for that. If you have a yogurt maker, that's what the yogurt maker does. I would recommend, if you have a yogurt maker, getting the one with the glass cups, not the plastic cups, because anything that has fat in it or is being heated up is going to leach plastic toxins out of the plastic cups, and then you're going to get plastic junk in your food. So the ones with the glass cups are the best. If you don't have access to any of that, what I've done in the past is put a 60 or 75 watt light bulb in my oven, and then you just turn on the light bulb, shut the door, and it heats up the oven to around that temperature. And you know those little meat thermometers where the thermometer's on the outside and it's got a cord and you can stick the little probe in the oven? I just do that, and you can put, you kind of have to mess around with it to stabilize the temperature of your oven, but what I do is I just do that until I get it to between 100 and 110 and get it a stable temperature just with the thermometer in there. You can go anywhere from a 15 watt bulb all the way up to a 100 watt bulb depending on the time of the year and what kind of oven you have. And as soon as you get the temperature stable, then all you do is you put it in a glass, put the coconut milk in a glass jar, put the probiotics in, shake it up, throw it in the oven, shut the door, and you leave it for 24 hours to incubate. And as long as you keep it in that temperature range, 24 hours later, you've got yogurt. Now, it's going to be a little thinner than store-bought yogurt, because in store-bought yogurt, they put in gelatin and thickeners and other additives to make it all thick and creamy. So I'm still playing around with ideas how to make it thicker. I haven't come up with anything fabulous yet, but in the meantime, this makes for great smoothies, great parfaits. You can put it on your cereal, put it on your granola, that kind of stuff. And it's thinner than regular yogurt, but still tastes the same, and it's way healthier for you. And it's got all the healthy fats for coconut in there. If you can't eat coconut, you can also do that with your almond milk, like the homemade almond milk that I taught you guys how to make, or with hemp milk. You can do it with, not the next class, but the one after that, I'm going to show you how to make beverages, and you can make lemonade and tea and stuff, and you can put probiotics in all that stuff and make it really healthy and probiotic rich. So I'll show you how to do that too. I've got 2 cups of yogurt. You want mango or strawberry? Mango it is. If you can get fresh fruit, it's obviously going to be it's healthier for you. When you freeze fruit, so fresh fruit, fresh off the tree, organic is going to be your best option, okay? That's where the nutrient value in the fruit is the highest possible. Once you pick it, the longer that it's off of the branch, the nutrients decrease the longer that it sits around. So let's say your fruit has been grown in South America. However long it takes to get it from there and ship it here, all of that time your nutrients are decreasing. If it was grown in non-organic conditions, that's going to bring down the nutrients even more. If they picked it green so that they could ship it, that's going to decrease your nutrients even more. Some of the best anti-disease nutrients, the most potent ones, are produced in the fruit right before the fruit is picked right before it's perfectly ripe. So if you pick it when it's green, a whole lot of the nutrients haven't even been developed yet. So it's just in the last couple days before it's perfectly ripe, that's when all your powerful nutrients and antioxidants and really amazing stuff that is disease fighting, that's when it's produced. So try to get it as fresh as possible, ripened on the vine, as local as possible, as organic as possible. When you freeze fruit, it destroys like about 50% of the antioxidants and the nutrients, so vitamin C is decreased by 50% just by freezing it. So just keep all this in mind. I'm not saying don't eat frozen fruit or don't eat non-organic fruit. I'm just saying know the continuum of how healthy your food can be on certain, parts of its life, and then choose your best option for what you have. Sometimes you don't have access to fresh off the tree organic fruit from your backyard, and so pick your best option, know the spectrum of how healthy your food when, and then pick the best option you have. So no fresh mangoes today, so we've got frozen ones. I'm going to, for some people this would just be plenty sweet enough. I think it's really good plain, just the way it is. If you want it to be a little bit sweeter, I add some fresh local honey or raw local honey. And raw local honey is also a whole body tonic. It's great for its it's got high in antioxidants. It's high in, antimicrobial power. So it's antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. It's great for burns. Yesterday I was cooking this food and I burnt my arm on the pan and I got a blister. It was a pretty bad burn. And you put raw local honey on burns, and it's one of the best things you can do for a burn is put on raw local honey, and it took the burn away. Like in 5 minutes I didn't feel it anymore. The blister went down and you can hardly see the burn on my arm anymore. So it's cool for healing wounds. Like in some parts of the world they use honey to put on wounds, and because it's antibacterial, antiviral, antipathogenic, it keeps the wound sterile and it keeps it moist, and plus all the nutrients in the honey heals up the wound really fast. So some cool tidbits on honey. And then a little bit of vanilla, because for me, anytime you can add vanilla, you should. It tastes really good. Also, vanilla is therapeutic. It has calming effects. Make sure when you buy your vanilla that you read the ingredients, carefully read the label. Most vanillas have propylene glycol in them as an extender. They also have corn syrup. They also have sugar. So just be careful which vanilla you buy. On the back, it should only have either glycerin or alcohol as the preservative and the extractive, and then vanilla and water. So just check your ingredients as always. This is one of our favorite breakfast treats at our house. It's filling. Yum. Okay, you guys are gonna love this. Here you go. It's filling, it's healthy, it's got your probiotics in it, it's got your fruit in it, and you can eat that with a little granola or something, and it makes a perfect meal, perfect snack.